morning, welcome to Breakfast Club Boating Edition. Yep, my feet are getting wet. Oh dear. It's looking a bit sorry for itself, but trust me, it does scrub up good when you clean it. This is Everyday Prepper. My name is Steve. Welcome back to the channel. If you've just come across the channel and you're watching this for the first time, basically I'm a UK prepper. I'm on my boat and I'm going to have some breakfast and a chat. Yes, I really enjoyed the last one. Had some great comments as well. Thank you very much for all of you commenting and joining in with the discussion. So I've got some stuff to discuss today about food shortages, which is ironic because I'm having a nice cooked up breakfast and I'm hoping to cook my breakfast properly this time. I've got some hot dog sausages, but I'm going to boil them up in water rather than try and fry them because they were absolutely solid when I was eating them before, although they were cooked, and my breakfast was pretty ghastly. So hopefully we're not going to make a pig's ear of it this time, and have a bit of fun, have a chat. The lighting seems okay in here. I haven't hooked up to the shore power to put all my lights on, but I have got some lighting rigs and stuff to raise the lighting a bit if it gets a bit dull. Hopefully we'll be all right. I'll clip on my remote mic as well so I can wander around and show you what I'm doing, and then let's get stuck in. Right, so we've got some nice lighting on. I'm just going to show you, this is the galley where I'm going to be cooking my breakfast. I've got my keys over there. Right, so we've got, I think I've shown you this before, but this is an alcohol burner in here, and all you do is we fill up that little pan there with a load of I did use meths before, but I've actually got some bioethanol which I'm going to chuck in there now. One of my little stand protectors has gone, but anyway, that balances on there like that. That goes down there and opens up somehow. Open up. There you go. There we are. It's all a bit broken. Anyway, that goes on there like that. And this is quite good actually. It heats up pretty well. But what I am going to do is I'm going to balance my little wooden board on here. I'm going to have my gas stove there as well to do some water for my coffee, which should be good. So that's the idea anyway. Oh, that's much better lighting. Yes, so I'll have that on. I've got my my big battery box, which is powering all my USB stuff at the moment. I haven't got the inverter on. I don't really need that. And obviously for cooking, I've got my gas. I've got another little alcohol burner, and I've got my BCB burner, which I probably won't use. Excuse for wearing the same old shirt. I love this shirt, it just keeps me warm. I've still got my same old trousers, which are covered in mud, so they'll need a wash soon because various breakfast clubs and going down tunnels and things like that, it takes its toll. Right, and hopefully I won't get interrupted by the local idiot busybody who usually comes down and tries to just slag off everything I'm doing. He's just utter lunatic. Anyway, so let's get started, and I'm going to position the camera up, get my mic all clipped up, and then we'll get some cooking and have a chat. Right, hopefully you can see my setup. We've got my bioethanol here, which is going to go into there, and I've also got some of that in my other little burner, which might work quite well here because there's no wind now. I'm inside, by the way. There's no point going up on deck because it's absolutely chucking it down up there, so as you can probably hear, which is quite nice really. Got me mug, got me coffee. So the absolute priority today for me is coffee. Get the coffee on first, and then I can sip that gradually while I'm doing the breakfast. Last thing I did was I ended up doing the coffee last thing, and it was just silly. My sweeteners. Right, so what I need to do is put some bioethanol. This is all my food. I've got some eggs, and I've got some sausages, slice of bread on the floor. And I've got some beans as well. Very organised today. So yes, we're all good. Right, let's get this filled up because this always evaporates even if there's some left when I go home, there's always some. Let's pull that over there. Let's do that. Pop that up like that. I'll pour a load of that into here. Burns for ages anyway. I should do it. Right. What we'll do. God, that really is absolutely chucking it down. With the tarp on top of the boat, the tarp's generally waterproof. It's a bit rubbish. Needs redoing, really, re-waterproofing, but the water's now dripping off the tarp into my engine compartment, but it's kind of not, because there's a rim round the lid of the engine compartment that then takes you off into it takes it off down a pipe and then goes out of the side of the boat. So that's all good. So we're not going to be filling up the engine compartment. Hopefully not, anyway. Right, so I'll take my watch off because that's irritating me already. And then we need to try and light this lighter. Where's my lighter? That's my billy set. There's my lighter. Right, I'm going to get my mess tin to heat my water up in. And my handy canteen, which works every time. And let's get some water on first for the coffee, and then we can start on the breakfast. Just like this over here. There we go. Hopefully you can see the flame there. Just angle that down slightly. There we go, should be able to see that. Oh, yeah, see the flame on there? Right, so we get some water in here. There's a nice flame, and this all gets really, really hot, and it's all nice and focused as well, so it keeps it. Only thing with this canteen, I always do it up extra tight just in case. Alright. Put that in the sink, and let's get the coffee going. I put loads of stuff in there, so we're probably going to be all right for look at that. That should heat up. Pop a lid on the canteen. I know someone commented on my last video putting a lid over. I did do that, but I didn't film it. Honest. I did. I put this on there like that, and I sped things up a little bit. So that's good. Right, so we'll get the coffee on, and then we'll start having a chat. Right, while we're waiting for my water to heat up, I thought I'd just kick things off. So what I wanted to talk about was food shortages. It just occurred to me the other day, over the last few years, we've been warned of various food shortage problems, supply chain issues, and everything else. I'm going back to the beginning of the Ukraine invasion by Russia. We know what happened during COVID. COVID was fear-mongering by the news, caused everyone to panic buy, and before you knew it, there was empty shelves in the shops. It wasn't really to do with supply chain breaking down or anything like that. It wasn't like, millions of people on the supply chains were all dying and dropping dead. It was basically the government's response to that caused the panic buying, and then followed on to the empty shelves. And the same thing happened when the Ukraine was first invaded, and we saw headlines, which I'm going to show you on here, because they're still all there, where they were saying that there's going to be food shortages because of the Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. Do you remember that? The breadbasket of Europe, which means that, I think we're boiling already. Look at that. Sorry for the interruption. Let me just do this. Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. Oh, yum. Okay. Let's pop that over there, I think. Like that. Right, I've got my sausages in the foil here. I'm going to break these up and I'm going to chuck them in with the beans. I think that's the best plan of attack. Oh, put the beans in there. Oh, where's my spatula? Okay, I've lost my spatula. I'm going to have to use my spork. And put that in there. Right. Didn't bring a wooden spoon or anything, so I'm just going to have to hope that I don't wreck the pan. And it's all a bit fiddly because I've got lighting everywhere and I've got camera everywhere and my coffee, and I don't want to throw it all on the floor. And I'm a bit clumsy. There we go. Let's heat that up. Right. Now, let's pop this over here so you can see what's going on. Yeah, so where were we? Bread basket of Europe. So they said that there's going to be wheat shortages, major wheat shortages. It's straight from the outset. They said it's going to be major problems. You won't be able to get your wheat, so that means your pasta, your bread, flour, all of that sort of stuff. Your bread, your rolls, your generally carby stuff. And I've not had an issue, not at all. We make our own bread at home, and I've not seen any sign of in the last nearly 3 years now of shortages of the stuff that we wanted, like pasta and everything else. And we still stockpile, we still do all of that, but I've not seen any issues at all with I'll cook my eggs next. Okay, yeah, not seen any issues with the supply chain, which they said was going to be absolutely horrendous. Anyway, then also they did some deal, didn't they, with the UN to get grain or stuff out of the Ukraine. You know, they suddenly come up with this amazing deal, and then throwing milk everywhere. Then we had the attack on Israel by the Hamas. Was it last year? October, and then we had the Israel and Hamas war, then you had the Houthis get involved, and then do you remember when they were blocking the ships in I can't remember the area now, it wasn't a canal, it's a big shipping area, I haven't got all the documents to hand, but anyway, they were attacking ships and they said we're going to attack any ships that are to do with the US or Israel or Britain or anything like that. We're going to attack them, stop them coming through. And then they said, oh, this is going to disrupt the supply chain terribly because they're going to have to reroute all of the stuff right around the bottom of Africa to make it safe. And a lot of insurance companies weren't insuring them, so the ships had to go around the longer route. Did we see any supply shortages? No, we've seen more supply available on Amazon and, you know, all your electronics and all your bits and pieces. I haven't seen anything. I've not had to wait, you know, for stuff. In fact, people are still getting stuff off Temu now, and they're going direct, going to Temu, they're going to AliExpress and all that sort of thing. No problem whatsoever, and so no problem with the supply chain. So then the other thing that came up was the. And I know there's a lot more to it. And the other thing was the farmers strikes. You know, they're going to really be disruptive. You might see food shortages and empty shelves on the supermarkets because the farmers are not going to sell to the supermarkets. They're going to go on strike, and they're going to do this. They're going to block ports, and they're going to do that. Now I know that some of it was limited, and it was possibly by the government response where they put policing on there, and then they tried to attach the farmers' protest to make it far right and say, oh, this is going to be joined by far right people. They're going to wreck it, so we're going to have a big police presence. I don't know whether they did or not. I haven't actually watched any footage of the protests to see how it went, but I think it went all quite peacefully. I don't think it was a major issue or anything. I know there was police about. But anyway, have we seen any disruption? It might be a little bit too early to see any disruption. I don't know. But I haven't seen anything yet. And again, it's just one of those things where it's all blown up in the press to get the adverts and get the clicks and all that sort of stuff. And it's all blown up all over YouTube. But we're not really seeing food shortages. So I was having a chat, a bit of an argument actually with my mate, ChatGPT, and saying, well, it must have all been lies then. Eggs are in. I didn't bring any bloody oil, did I? So you know what's going to happen to that pan. Right, grab a plate. Hopefully my billy set is proper non-stick. Or lid, because I need the tops done. There we go. Right, so we've got my sausage and my beans is all in there, nice and hot. Hopefully they'll be all good. Got my coffee. I'll stir around. Ooh. Oh yes. Oh, they're almost done. I'll just put my bread on. Bread pre-buttered. Eggs can go on there. When they're done. Oh yeah, they're done. Look at that. Totally done. Gotta get them out now. Haven't actually got a spatula, so that was a bit stupid. Oh, what a bloody disaster. Look at the state of that. Need a new billy set for Christmas. Oh, that ain't coming off, is it? Alright. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't normally show the breakfast, because look at the state of it. That's buggered. Right, I'll try and turn this stove off, which I'll do in a second. I'll just get my sausages and beans on. That'll do. Again, I'm hungry enough not to care. Right, wash all that up later. It's going to need a wash too. Right, now what I need to do is try and get this stove out. It's not a very big galley. Yeah. Simples. And then all you do is you bring the snuffer over. There is like a snuffer which you pull on here, but it doesn't work. It doesn't connect very well. There we go. How good is that? I didn't bring any condiments. The eggs are an absolute mess. I didn't bring any oil either. But I've got my coffee. Most importantly, that's that's really important. Right. So where were we? Breadbasket of Europe. So they kept going on about, oh, it's the breadbasket of Europe. The whole supply chain is going to break down. And I didn't see any shortages whatsoever. I mean, we saw the thing with the gas, didn't we? When either the US or someone in the West, we think, destroyed the gas supply line. They blamed Russia. Russia blamed the West. Absolute child's play fiasco. Kindergarten stuff. So we had the gas prices rocket for a while, apparently. Oh, then we were told, I remember this now. Well, just remember, gas prices going through the roof. Farmers use gas in their greenhouses to grow food. So food's going to go absolutely through the roof, and it's going to disrupt the supply chain. It's all about the supply chain. Did we see that? Well, we saw them make up inflation, and I didn't really see food prices go up that much. I think they just use whatever figures they can find to show an inflation increase so they can put the interest rates up and scupper my mortgage. That's what it's all about. It's all about me. I don't know, but seriously. I haven't seen any major supply chain issues. So yeah, we had the farmers' strike. Probably a little bit too early to say anything on that. So you might be thinking, well, what are you saying, Steve? Don't prepare. No, absolutely prepare. But I think it's going to take something bigger. And when I was chatting with ChatGPT, and I said, so this is all lies then? And they said, oh, well, no, it's a bit more nuanced than that. There were certain things that were in place that we didn't think was going to happen, and certain deals that were done with Ukraine and the grain and everything else that we didn't anticipate. And I was thinking, hang on a sec, before they make these headlines, are there not analysts around the world that know exactly how this is going to play out? Bearing in mind, something happens on one side of the world, you know about it literally seconds or milliseconds later because of the communication. Surely, we were only talking a couple of years ago, surely somebody would have known that it wouldn't be that bad. So that makes me just think, either there's just, all the analysts are a bunch of idiots as well, nobody really knows what's going on, or they knew full well that there wasn't going to be a food shortage, but they reported it to up the GDP, up the economy, get people buying, panic buying, as usual, and make it so they can maybe put up prices or something. I don't know, but it just seems absurd that there was no one, intervening and saying, no, this is going to be fine because we're going to do this, this, and this, which is what they've done. So it's all a bit strange, really. So what I'm saying is the food supply chain is actually, and the general supply chain seems a lot more resilient than we have been led to believe. The only thing we're talking and eating your breakfast is your breakfast goes cold. Never mind. This is a damn sight better than the one the other day, though. Tell you that. So yeah, I think it's going to take a bigger event, and I'm sure there will be a big event that will cause massive supply chain problems, or even a government response like COVID, where they caused the supply chain problems kind of thing, or blamed it on the supply chain that wasn't really. But my point is, it's going to take something bigger than what we've seen over the last couple of years to have to dip into your food stores. Now I'm thinking cyber attack. The reason I'm thinking that is unless you do all your shopping at farmers markets and everything else, you're going to get a situation one day where, like I've seen where I work down and I do deliveries like for Sainsbury's and stuff, they've had so many outages where they've had to come off the Deliveroo platform because their smart shop has gone down and they can't take card payments and it's cash only. So all this push towards card only. Starbucks had it the other day in my town, where they were all in that big announcement, all proudly saying, yeah, we're going card only, no cash. Days later, they went down, had to take cash only. Ridiculous. Or they had to close, I think. It was utterly ridiculous. So where they're pushing us all towards being away from cash, cyber attack's going to be a very easy way to knock it all out. So as I said, unless you are able to do all your shopping locally through greengrocers and butchers and what have you, and I know I don't at the moment, I do plan to, but even though the price might be slightly more, I do plan to get meat from the butchers and stuff like that. You get much better quality for not much more price. But yeah, if a supermarket goes down, you're just ready to do your weekly or monthly shop, or daily shop, or whatever people do now, and they're completely down, you have a problem. It seems to be happening more and more. So it won't take much for that to be the big event, is what I'm trying to say here. Stop raining, which is handy, because I've got a lot of electronics to get to the car. I need to wash up first. Luckily, I filled up the water bladder, which is up at the front of the boat, and the filler hole is on the bow. It takes a couple of 100 litres, and I filled it right up to the brim, so that lasts ages normally, at least a year. So I've got plenty of water to wash up with. Just seeing on here, it says burning alcohol is readily extinguished by water. So I'm going to just chuck some water on there. The trouble is that some water would have then gone inside it and that would mess it right up, wouldn't it? Well, it blew out fine, that's the main thing. Well, that was really nice. That was very good. So I don't know if any of you have been thinking about this in the back of your minds. You know, where's all the food shortages? Do we need to bother? Absolutely do bother, because it will come when you need to use your stash. It could even be, you know, the nuclear war thing. I don't know. But as I said, it will take a much bigger event than what we've seen over the last couple of years. And there's plenty more events to be looking out for, I'm sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. Are you still prepping? Are you still stockpiling loads of food? How much have you got? Oh, no, you don't need to tell me that. I suppose I need to head back home, get ready for work. I would have been a bit of an earlier start this morning because I was going to stay on the boat last night in those 60-mile-an-hour winds. Because the boat, it just rocks me to sleep. I love it, especially in the choppy water. I tend to always really sleep well. I get interrupted and stuff during the night, but it's a different type of sleep. Well, I was going to do that, but I'd made other plans. So I thought I'd come down here this morning, do the breakfast club. It's still a tarp breakfast club, by the way, because I have a tarp on the boat, which I had to lift off to get in here. But it might not always be a tarp breakfast club. We'll see how it evolves, eh? But yeah, I do love my arguments with ChatGPT. You know, it's obviously got an agenda. It's been programmed a certain way, and it's generally leaning towards the left, which is quite funny to argue with. But it tries to be diplomatic. It used to be quite arrogant and nasty, but it's become a little bit more understanding now. So I don't know why. Just obviously the algorithms have been changed slightly. So yeah, that's me. I think I might have another cup of coffee before I go. I think we'll leave it there because I do need to. A bit of a rash on my arm here. I don't know what's going on there. I knew I was itching. Anyway, I should pack up, get home. I've got to wash up. I think some of it's going to have to go in the dishwasher back home because it's really stuck on, especially the egg. I messed up on that. And I've got a frying pan down on the boat. I should have used that. That would have been better, although still no oil. I should have some oil down here. That's what I need. I bet I've got some, haven't I? No oil down here. Okay, so I should bring some down next time. Right, I think that's me done. If you have been watching, if anyone's watched this, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I look forward to catching up with you in the next chat and the next breakfast club. I'm going to go out and do some more camping soon. I probably will use my tent, and I've got some land that I've got my eye on where I want to go. So hopefully I'll be doing that soon. But in the meantime, appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one. It's just taken me over half an hour to wash all that up. I'm not sure I want to live on a boat.